ليش هيب هوب مع حسان.
اوكي اعزائي المستمعين، اكيد مستمرين معاكم في برنامج ليش هيب هوب، والحديث الشيق حيستمر معانا حيبدأ ان شاء الله بعد قليل جدا. يعني ان شاء الله بعد الاغنيه هذه حيكون معانا دين وحيكون معانا سفينكس للتحدث عن الفن المحلي عامه، والفن الفن باي بلد عربي. لما انت مثلا تكون في بلد بيسوي حفلات وبيجيب مثلا أسامي كبيرة، ليش نحن ما ندعم الفنانين المحليين الموجودين بهذا البلد؟ this is it guys, this is it. Okay, we're gonna go for a nice track that I love and respect all the way from Africa, Ghana. This is Dying to Live, Blitz, the Ambassador. Wow, I cannot believe I'm playing these great tracks on radio في العالم العربي. This is amazing guys. دائما try to dig out the music, dig out the real music. Don't let them give you the music they play. Dig it out. Dying to Live, ladies and gentlemen, Blitz, the Ambassador.
ليش هيب هوب مع حسان.
اوكي اعزائي المستمعين، اكيد رجعنا معاكم في برنامج ليش هيب هوب، وقبل ما نستضيف دين والسفينكس حنلعب أغنية بسيطة اسمها Rascals، أكيد اسمها Top of the World، ونرجع معاكم with the amazing discussion على my Music X, the discussion على local artists and the discussion on promoters. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Top of the World, Rascals. خليكم معانا because the next after this track, Deen Sphinx, we're going to be talking local art and how we can elevate hip hop in the Arab world. يلا.
ليش هيب هوب مع حسان.
Okay, the moment is here, ladies and gentlemen. We are talking about the Music X, my Music X, اللي هو يعني 3-day festival في دبي. أكيد a lot of performances, a lot of big names يعني أسامي كبيرة زي Akon, Sean Paul, example في بالنسبة electronic music وكثير من الناس. ليش نحن ليش الفن المحلي don't get support؟ ما في دعم بأي طريقة ممكنة. we have on the line with us two of the greatest, and one of I can't even talk about them, but they mean a lot to me. We're gonna inshallah try to get both of them. We're gonna say we're gonna say salam alaikum for both of you.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Great. So
wa alaikum assalam. What it do?
Okay, great. So alhamdulillah, the technicals have been working. Of course, Ma'ana, Sphinx, can you identify to the people?
Yo, this is Sphinx.
Great. Akid Sphinx from Arabian Nights. And Deen, my man Deen, all the way from the US, one of the people from Mideast Dynasty. What up, man?
Yo, what it do, man? Deen, Weaponry Gang, shout out Above Agency. You know what it is, man.
My man. Okay, guys, thanks a lot for your time, and let's get through it. Let's get into it right now. Deen, I'm gonna start with you. You wrote an article on your amazing site, Mideast Dynasty. Talking about my Music X. If you can just tell us quickly briefly, how did my Music X reach you? What did they want and what happened? And because, they wanted to use you as a booking agency, as a consultant firm, I don't know, with no compensation at all. So, tell us more about the story, my brother.
Yeah, well, basically, I got an email to our site contact email about a month ago, and they were reaching out to us and asking us basically to be a part of their showcase and talking about they're going to put together a panel and they're doing all this stuff to help uplift, the local scene. And, they have all these big major players from the U.S. and wherever else. They're involved in hip-hop. And obviously they have Akon headlining, Sean Paul, Eve, whoever. So they reach out to us, and then throughout the process, you start to see their unprofessionalism because they start coming at us, start asking us to book all this talent for them and set up a show, and then 2 weeks they don't have any contact with me after I give them a list, because initially it starts as they want my opinion on who should be involved and who should be on this panel. Then I find out they email us 2 weeks after having no contact after I submit them all the info, and they start asking, basically they ask me to put together the whole thing. And from there, I'm like, well, wait a second. Now you're asking me to put together the whole thing, put together a 5 to 10 minute presentation for the panel, et cetera, et cetera. And then when I start talking about, well, what about paying these artists? and, you know, taking care of, you know, the stuff you would do for anyone, you know, just the proper way to handle business,
Right.
you know, in a respectable industry, like a legitimate industry. All of a sudden they started turning into, well, we want everyone pro bono, you know, they should do it for free because we're really helping them out, you know, and we're giving them this big opportunity to perform on our main stage. And they don't even mention what time exactly the performance is going to be at, so who knows when that would have even been. But they wanted an hour performance, basically, and they asked us to do all this, so I went and I set it up. And when I told them, well, you got to compensate these artists and everything, all of a sudden, you know, they started switching and saying, oh, no, we want everyone for free. Well, I said, well, but they said, turn us in the info, the money, and we'll see if we can manage maybe, you know, a hotel or something.
Yeah.
So I said, well, this is what they want, and you got to handle it like a certain way. So I turn in the info to them, and we don't hear from them ever since.
Yeah.
So I wrote my article, and that's now all of a sudden they're calling us and, you know, apologizing and, oh, what can we do? And it's a little too late. There is no what you can do.
Right.
You know what I mean? You undervalue our artists, and, you know, you take advantage of our scene and try to exploit it, and then you come back and start apologizing after we call you out. But before that, had I not written the article, they wouldn't have said anything.
Right, Deen. Shout out to Miriam Akid Nihal from Saudi Gazette.
I just wanted to make one point real quickly. Well, first, I want to thank Miriam Nihal for taking, you know, the initiative to actually go ahead and put the story out there and get it to the public. And, you know, it's a UAE-based festival, and she still took the initiative to get it out. The other thing I wanted to address is this people talking about we didn't mention that there's two sides to the story and all this, et cetera, et cetera. First of all, everything I've said is backed up by facts. There's emails, et cetera, so I could prove everything I have to say. And if you notice anything coming from My Music X, there has not been any accusations against me about anything negative or irresponsible that I did on my end. It's been a lot of apologizing.
Right.
And as far as the two sides to the story, there's one other part. We mentioned the promoters. Another issue with our scene is that there's artists out there also coming around and, you know, presenting themselves as they represent this, or they're Muslim and they claim to represent this and this style of music, or representing Islam through their music. But then they're lying to these promoters about their value and their stats.
Wow.
And, you know, they're buying these fake Twitter followers and fake YouTube views and fake fans, and then they're using this information to create business for themselves.
Man.
But their career is based off a lie. So when you go to these promoters and they book you and they actually do end up paying you, and then you don't have a turnout, when you have like 20,000 Twitter followers that you bought that are fake, and then when you come and you do your show and there's not even like 100 people at it, that's also an issue as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And what part of Islam is that? If you're representing, you know, Islam, we're not supposed to lie and be crooked. You know what I mean? So.
Dean, one question, and then I ask the same question to Sphinx, and then I have to, I think, hang up with you and take Sphinx. Dean, a lot of questions will be like, I mean, what is the problem of sharing the stage with, you know, with people like Sean Paul, EVE, and stuff like that? It's promotion for you. I personally have an opinion about that. Maybe it's the same as yours, but I'd like to hear your opinion. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, first of all, what they were asking us for was a 1-hour segment to focus on regional acts. So that's outside of opening up for anyone, and that's a little different too. And for some people, that's cool to open up and whatever. But, you know, they didn't even tell us our time slot. You know, so if ACON is going on at 9 p.m. and you have these artists performing at 3 in the afternoon for free, how is that beneficial to anybody? You know, and if you never give us the value to be able to stand, you know, and headline with these acts, no one's going to value us as well. You know, if you keep relegating us to the bottom, how are you going to uplift our community and uplift our people? At the end of the day, they're coming to our country, you know, and yes, of course, they have huge fan bases and people are coming buying tickets to see them. I agree with that. But if we don't create any of our own stars, then we don't create any people and don't give us the right light for people to support us and view us in the same light, then we're doing a disservice to ourselves and to our community.
I think we should get our own firm, our own thing. And you know, Deen, you have started an amazing thing, really. I mean, big respect to you. And I think and I add my voice to you with that regard, because a lot of people would say, hey, listen, but you're sharing the stage with Sean Paul, EVE, you know, ACON. You can get some kind of promotion. What's wrong with you guys? And plus, what you suggested is a panel to discuss Arabic hip-hop and hip-hop in the MENA region. And you've mentioned some great names, you know, including yourself and even maybe myself and even Arabian Nights. And I think, you know, we have a lot to say in this matter. So it's very unfortunate that this happened. Deen, you know, I want to thank you very much. I would like you to stay online with us.
Yeah, you got it.
All right. طيب أعزائي المستمعين حنروح بريك بسيط. تكنولوجيا مع ياسر ونرجع معكم نحاول نجيب سفينكس. يلا.
ليش هيب هوب مع حسان.
Okay, أعزائي المستمعين إن شاء الله this works. Sphinx, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm with you, brother. What's going on?
Amazing. Good to hear your voice. So I have to just, I think, mute in Deen, although I don't think he can be muted, but shout out to Deen. Sphinx, we were talking about my Music X and what happened. Deen explained a little bit. I'm talking to you from an artist, of course, command point of view. A lot of people, I asked Deen the same question. A lot of people would say we are blessed to perform next to, AVE, Sean Paul. This is the number one question that I'm getting. Why do you guys reject this opportunity? Why ما أعرف إيش إيش فيها?
I mean, that's
Go
cool.
ahead.
That's cool and everything. We get in the same offer to do so in Denmark, in one of the biggest festivals in Northern Europe, to be on the same stage with Rihanna and all these other big acts. That's not the point. But the fact that this happened in the Middle East is something that, unfortunately, I've been accustomed to and used to. Like, the support for the local talent out here is nil. It's nothing. They support no local talent here, and they don't understand the fact that, and the reason why they bring and import the foreign artists here is because their local fan base supported them to the point where they can reach stardom and come here and do what they're doing in Dubai and in these big festivals.
Sphinx, so I'm gonna interrupt you shwaya. I want you to say the quote you gave Sadi Gazette, because I love that quote. Can you just say it again?
Yeah, I think it was the fact that, if we're getting paid and people calling us from Europe to pay us, and they're paying us, pretty good money for a country like Dubai to call us and ask us to come and do it for free. I mean, if it was Palestine, I would do it for free and even pay to go perform there.
Nice.
Or in Lebanon or in places that what our message is for in the first place.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that. But a place that has money like Dubai, I mean, Qatar, I'll shout out to Qatar because Qatar took care of us.
Yeah.
And the girls of Quresh company, they took care of us.
Yep.
And they supported their local talent. And when it comes to a place like Dubai, I mean, it hurts to know that your people don't show you the same support as these white Europeans that don't understand your language but respect your movement, respect what you did in your country, and they bring you out and they take care of you better than what your own people do. You know what I'm saying? It'll happen soon, but that's what we've been fighting for the past 6 years of performing and doing our thing. You know what I mean?
تعرف إيش المشكلة? The problem is as well. I think that this move that you guys we all stood up and did something with this. I think this is going to reflect good. I think, inshallah. I think we don't need anybody. I think we need to have our own firm, our own venues, our own promoters. Sphinx, what do you tell? What do you tell the promoters right now that are tuning in from from all over the? I mean, especially from My Music X. If you have a message, what is your message?
The promoters are thinking of money and they need to look at the local artists as a long-term investment that's going to have a huge return. If they're really talking about economics, they should see the potential, the financial potential that can come out of these local talents for them as well as for the local artists. That they can build and raise the economy of these people that are trying to do something with their music locally, who, in my opinion, a lot of these people, let's put Arabian Nights to the side, that are at the same, level, if not better than these foreign artists that they're bringing in, that they call big names.
Oh, yeah. Okay. طب Sphinx, I'm going to shift to Deen a little bit, but stay on the line with us. تحياتي ليك ولمصر Arabian Nights, my man.
I'm with you, bro.
All right.
I'm with you, bro.
Okay, so until we get Deen again, I want you to stay on the line with us. I want to finish this whole thing with you guys. So we're going to go up with a quick short song, and then we'll come back. Can you stay on the line with us, Sphinx?
I'm with you, brother.
Yalla. All right.
ليش هيب هوب مع حسان.
Okay, نقول السلام عليكم. Who's with us now?
Walaikum assalam. Sphinx with you.
Okay, Sphinx. So that now we don't go to this again, I'm going to ask you one question and then I'm going to tell you sadly goodbye. Sphinx, my man, why do you think promoters do not do their research? I mean, that's the question. Okay, and now, for example, this My Music X has a lot of panel discussions, وما أعرف إيش festivals, and the ones that we got asked to talk about or whatever it is was Arabic hip hop. The promoters, they don't do their research and find out who are the people that are leading in the Arabic hip hop. They don't care about that. They just want to sell, or what do they want to do exactly?
Exactly, because it's a business to them, and I can understand that. So these people are doing business. They're putting money into an event, and they're trying to get names that are going to bring them money. But at the same time, they should realize that there's people that are in the underground or in the Arabian underground that can and will eventually start bringing money as soon as they start supporting. You know what I mean? Like we've been fortunate enough to share stages with Paul McCartney, Led Zeppelin, the Gorillaz, you know what I'm saying? Not just open for them, like actually on stage performing with these people in London and, you know, all over Europe. And these people need to see that the same way that they look at us, that our own people have to look at us the same way and realize that we can actually start making them money and start making money for ourselves. I mean, it's not only for the money for us. We got a message that we want to send to the people. We have a movement that we're trying to put out, and we're trying to put out good music at the same time and entertain. And thankfully, alhamdulillah, people have been enjoying what we've been doing, and sooner or later they're going to have to see it. I mean, we've been kicking down doors since day one. When they told us we wouldn't be on TV, we kicked down the door to TV and the radio, and we got played on TV and radio.
Sorry.
When they said all of these obstacles in our faces, we were able to knock them down. So this is just another obstacle that's going to get knocked down. And with what we're doing now, and with what Deen did, and with Saudi Gazette, that's the beginning of the door getting kicked down.
Sphinx, I want to give you a big shout out to you and my homies Arabian Nights. تحياتي الكبيرة ليكم والله يعني انتوا على راسي من فوق دائما.
Shout out to you, brother, because of what you've been doing for the underground team and the local talent. I give you the biggest shout out because you've been supporting us from day one.
Thank you very much, my man.
Wallahi.
Thank you, Sphinx. I'm going to hang up with you right now. Thank you very much. Tahiyati, all the guys, the family, and everyone, man. Peace.
Thank you for having me.
All right. طيب, great. Inshallah, يكون Deen, you're with us.
Yeah, what up?
Okay, great.
I'm right here.
Habibi. Okay, Deen, I think you heard what Sphinx said. Now, my question is to you is how can we fix this, Deen? You know, like how can we ask for, I think what we're all asking for is respect, and we're asking for, I think even with the problem that it pisses me off really more is like the amount of benefits that we are asking for is so minimal comparing to what these guys are getting, you know, all these super DJs and stars and stuff like that. So I don't see where the support is, where the support for local artists is and talent, and they're claiming to support, but they're not supporting. So I'm just telling it how it is. That pisses me off. How can we fix this, Deen?
I think, you know, for us, in order for us to gain our respect, I think we all need to stand united and unified. And I think that's one part that's like missing the most is that, you know, if there's one artist that, for instance, like we all stood up together and we said there's an issue, and then there's another artist that comes and takes that same show for free or something, it allows these promoters to still keep doing what they do. So we need to go do exactly what Sphinx was saying and what you've been preaching as well, which is that we need to go and stand up for ourselves and start creating our own promotions and shows and booking ourselves and showing that we have our own fan bases and that we can sell and create money and business for not only ourselves but our community, and also for these outside investors and people that come in and they can see that we're able to share the stage and draw a crowd just as much as, you know, some of these other bigger artists that they book.
Dean, sorry to interrupt you. I want to say something. When you know what Sphinx said in the quote in the Saudi Gazette is really important. Got to me a lot. Sphinx said, يعني I'll just try to say that in Arabic because it's important. Sphinx بيقول إنه يعني اليوروبيين بيدفعوا فلوس عشان نحن نروح نقدم عروض في بلادهم. كيف يعني بلد زي دبي أو بلدان مثلا كبيرة عربية لما نروح نحن نقدم حفل ليش يبغونا نقدم مجانا؟ يعني Dean, what Sphinx said in the magazine was beautiful because it's as true and straightforward as it is. It's like, you know, Europeans pay us. And rich Arab countries, they want us for free. I mean, and he said even if it was Palestine, he would go pay and be there. But Dubai, come on, man. That is so real, and that is like an artist, you know, just telling it how it is. I mean, at the end of the day, Dean, how do you sum this whole thing up? And if there's some people now from My Music X tuning in, what do you tell them to end it up?
First, I want to say that, like, when I hear my brothers speak and like my sisters, because that's what everyone is to me. Like when I hear a brother like Sphinx and a brother like you speak, and you hear the passion in our hearts about how we feel about this. When we're doing this music, it's not about the money for us. It's about the message and representing our people and doing something for our people. Yes, obviously, we want to create a career out of this. We want to be able to support ourselves because it takes time, energy, and we've dedicated our whole lives to this. So for promoters like My Music X and them, they look at us at a certain way and they're thinking dollar signs, but what they're not understanding is what we're doing and what we're representing goes beyond any of that. And if they do value us, just like Sphinx said, like these other foreign countries like Europe is booking them for huge festivals bigger than anything they got out here. Right. You know what I mean? And they're paying and they're taking care of, and they're flying them out. It's a lot. It costs a lot more to fly to Europe than to Dubai.
100%. 100%.
You know what I mean? So If they're able to value us like that and put us on stage, you know what I mean, they need to treat us the same, you know, and we need to have some value for ourselves as a people.
صح. Deen, I'm sadly running out of time. I want to see if I can get Ghost, hopefully, but, you know, if you want to stay with us on the line, Deen, and see, hopefully it doesn't hang up. If it hanged up, I want to give you like a big salute to you, my man, really. Thanks for everything, my brother.
No, likewise. Much love. And Big House always represented. We're proud of you, man. Thank you for holding us down, man, and being a great. But anyway,
you stay with us, and now we're gonna be playing, you know, Jurassic 5 Freedom. But stay with us, okay, Deen. Stay with us, my brother. All right?
Yeah, I'm there. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, guys, نسمع الأغنية هذه ونختم معاكم بعدين. يلا, Freedom, Jurassic 5, Freedom. Guys, come on, elevate your mind. Freedom. Booze to the mindless. No way. Grow up. Elevate through words. J5. يلا.
ليش هيب هوب مع حسان.
Okay, أعزائي المستمعين, رجعنا معاكم في ليش هيب هوب. We were trying to get Ghost, but I'm not sure if we couldn't get him. Deen, you're still with us?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Okay, we're trying to get Ghost. I'm not sure. The IT is really trying. Anyway, we got like 2 minutes before the end of the show. I'd like to, you know, first of all, salute to you and your efforts in doing this. And the thing is, again, a lot of people on Twitter are really saying, and they're not understanding how come. Okay, for example, one guy called Abdulaziz. He said, why don't you guys go there and then prove them wrong or something like that? That's what he said, in a way, you know? So what's your reply to that? Like, we go there, you represent and do this, and then the people would know the reality and the truth. I'm not sure. Go ahead, D.
Okay. My reply is, if Apple, you go to the CEO of Apple, I would have said Steve Jobs, rest in peace to Steve Jobs. But if he was still alive, right, and you've been working in computers for your whole entire life, and this is your profession, this is what you're trying to do professionally, and he offers you an opportunity to work with him, but he doesn't pay you, that's cool as an intern, right? But if he offers you that opportunity consistently for the rest of your life, how can you function and go on with your life? That's not a career. Mm-hmm. What we're trying to do is create a career here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're trying to do something to elevate ourselves just on the same level. I can go there and perform in front of whoever. That doesn't mean anything if it's constantly every single time they try to bring me out. Right. And anyways, they weren't even bringing us on stage with any of the main headliners anyways. They were putting us on a separate day.
Deen.
It wasn't even on the same stage.
Great. Deen, to end it up, what was the last thing you heard from My Music X?
The last thing I heard was this dude asked me that one of their CEOs, first I got apologies, then one of their CEOs hit me up and asked to speak to me, and he said, yo, did I do something to you that I was unaware of? And my response was, well, I don't know your level of literacy, so I can't answer that fairly, because obviously your whole company knows what's going on, and your PR and your other CEO contacted me and apologized on your behalf, and now you're coming at me talking about you don't know what you did wrong, when it's obviously, you know, the whole issue here is written completely clearly in an article.
Man, this is crazy. Akid, you know, we try to call Ghost, but there's no reply. But shout out to Ghost, shout out to you, my man, shout out to Sphinx. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope we managed to shed some light on this, my brother, and hopefully, you know, because I believe in you. I believe that we should have our own venues, our own movement, and like you said, we better unite, my brother. We have to unite, right?
We have to. We're already united, and this is the first step. They're going to see it just like all the other places. We're doing it.
Do you know the track "Count Your Blessings"? Nas and Damon Marley.
Yeah.
All right, I'm playing that. Deen, you know, as always we say, Alhamdulillah. Deen, shout out to you and the fam. What do you say to Saudi Arabia at the end in 5 seconds?
Saudi Arabia, I love you. Weaponry game, be ready. New singles, everything coming, man. You know, love, peace, and harmony.
All right, my brother. Deen, thank you very much, and good night, salute, and one love, my brother.
Peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Ma'alaikum assalam. Thank you. Okay, as I'm saying, كان معنا Deen with Sphinx, and I'm gonna say, you know, good night, one love. This is Count Your Blessings. It's an amazing experience that we're doing right now. We just gave voice to, you know, Deen and Sphinx. نتكلم على My Music X. Just check out my Twitter at @big_hus, and you'll find the article. Shout out to Maryam Nihal all the way from Saudi Gazette. Shout out to all the people, guys. One world, one love, one humanity, guys. Count your blessing and always say Alhamdulillah. Nas and Damon Marley. Good night and salute.